also present. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Hello.
Parties have conferred with Ms. Patrick from the front of the court. This afternoon has provided the court with a fine recommendation that there's an open DP file, which is 2023-7656-DP. That file shall be consolidated into this DS file. Further, that father's parenting time be suspended and that the parenting time be reviewed on July 16th, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. Ms. Carr, presumably this recommendation is agreeable with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. Mr. Powell, do you understand the recommendation?
I do.
Do you have any objection to the court adopting this recommendation? We're going to take a little break from parenting time and come back on July 16th at 1:30.
Absolutely, I object. The charges that they were concerned about me being incarcerated for were already PR.
Okay, but they're still pending.
Yes, they are still pending, but they were PR'd on.
Okay, that's fine. I can see you're not in jail, so you're out of jail. So you got a pending domestic violence second offense as well as the driving license suspended. Are those the two charges that are pending?
Yes.
So you don't have a valid license right now, do you?
No, but I do have a driver.
Okay. Who do you live with?
I live with my girlfriend.
Okay. What is her name?
Her name is Samantha Short.
Is she the victim in the domestic violence?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm surprised that there's not a bond condition. They have no contact with her while this charge is pending.
It was, but it was lifted. Yeah,
well,
those charges were pending to be dropped, which is why I have a PR bond.
No, the PR bond is just you were released from jail without having to post any cash bond or surety bond. Mr. Paul, has nothing to do with the adjudication.
No,
you're presumed to be innocent, but until it's adjudicated, the court has a concern.
That's just what I was told by my lawyer and prosecutor.
Okay. Ms. Carr, did this alleged incident take place in the presence of the child?
No, I do not believe so. And I can report that Mr. Powell is set to be sentenced on June 27th. The domestic violence has been dropped to an assault and battery. The driving with a license suspended. He has also a contempt proceeding with respect to that, and a contempt proceeding with respect to several other traffic tickets. And they're all set for the same date on June 27th in District 2A in Adrian. And
currently, Dad's parenting time is alternating weekends, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Perhaps we can move up this, of course, adopt recommendation. Perhaps we can move up this review to sometime shortly after January 27th. I'm sorry, June 27th. And your concern, Ms. Carr, is that we need to make sure that Mr. Powell is not going to be. What's your concern that in case he sends to jail?
Well, there are concerns about jail sentence, but there's concerns about the overall condition of the children while in Mr. Powell's care. And I would note that since the beginning of April, he's had the children overnight one time. And during that time, I mean, it was difficult because the children are reporting that they are not being cared for in his care, that they are not being fed, that Mr. Powell is sleeping until all hours, and they fend for themselves. There was an issue with the bond during that particular parenting time where the sheriffs were at his residence during that parenting time. Because there was a no contact order at that time. There's a dispute amongst the parties as to whether the other person was there, but the sheriff informed my client that the girlfriend was there at that time. And so my client just has a lot of concerns about the care of the children. One of the children reported that their son, who is being tested for autism, was struck by Mr. Powell during a parenting time several months ago. That information didn't come out in a timely manner, and by the time it did, my client didn't feel that it was appropriate to contact any authorities, although I think she's second guessing that now. But you know, there's just a general concern about the care in Mr. Powell's custody at this time.
So how's that going to change in your client's opinion between now and July 16th, Ms. Carr?
Well, it likely will not. But and my client was willing to allow some parenting time. We just didn't want the overnights because things seem to be there seem to be issues with the overnights and the children getting up and the parties not getting up. So we were more interested in moving the parenting time to a few hours during the day and seeing how that goes, and then maybe seeing how the care and custody of the children are moving forward.
Okay, the court's reluctant to just cut off contact between the father and the children, but the court is concerned about the girlfriend, the alleged victim being there. This victim, it's no longer an alleged victim, it's a victim of assault and battery. Mr. Powell, are you engaged in any type of anger management counseling program?
No, I am not, but those charges are pending to be dropped, like I said, and that no contact order was lifted based upon that.
I understand no contact, but there's a concern when you've got a volatile relationship at your home with your girlfriend. And again, if it's been reduced, it seems unlikely that it's going to be dropped after it's been reduced from a domestic violence second to an assault and battery. The courts want to see that you have completed some type of anger management counseling program. The only way the courts can allow even daytime parenting time is if, in fact, the Samantha Short is not present. So how do we know where do you want to exercise parenting time? If we talk about during the day on Saturdays, for example, or Sundays, do you have a parent that you can exercise your parenting time at a parent's house?
No, unfortunately, my parents don't live here.
Okay, well, again, we need some. Obviously, the children are old enough; they're 8 and 6. They could report to mom if the girlfriend is there. Correct, Ms. Carr? If the court permitted some daytime parenting time.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Powell, are you currently employed?
Yes.
Okay. Do you work on Saturdays and Sundays?
I do, but I don't have to. I cut hair every day.
Okay. Well, with the court, rather than just suspend parenting time, the court would is inclined, if mom doesn't have any strong objection or can't convince the court otherwise, to grant you some parenting time, but no overnights until we get past the sentencing. Not only past the sentencing, but also that you complete an anger management counseling program. This is originally a domestic violence second, so there's a prior domestic conviction somewhere. So the court wants to, until we can allow any overnights, you need to complete a anger management counseling program. The children do not need to be a part of it. They didn't witness this, but we don't want there to be a future incident where they witness their dad becoming physically violent with another party, another adult. That's not a good thing for children.
Yeah, they've never
what's better for
witnessed
you?
that. I'm sorry?
Saturdays or Sundays, Mr. Powell? What's better for your schedule?
Sundays are fine.
Ms. Carr, what about your client's position on Sundays? Do you want to talk with Ms. Patrick about that, or do you want to in a breakout room?
Sundays are okay with me.
Okay. Obviously, the court would like input from both of you in terms of what's best with the children's schedule. We could set a review sometime in this, perhaps, and keep this July 16th review date with the idea that the court's strong suggestion, Mr. Powell, if he wants to normalize things, to take and complete an anger management counseling program. In the meantime, and so we'll do parenting time. Ms. Carr, what alternating Sundays or every Sunday for maybe 3 or 4 hours, half a day?
Alternating Sundays are acceptable to us, and I mean 4 hours would be fine.
Hey, what do you suggest, Mr. Powell? Ms. Eisenhower, like 12 to 5, maybe?
12 to 4, 12 to 5, that's okay with me.
Okay, about 12 to 5 alternate Sundays. Would this coming weekend be Mr. Powell's weekend? Of last weekend.
It was his weekend this last weekend.
Okay, did he exercise parenting time last weekend?
No, my daughter asked if she could go to her friend's house, and he said it was okay, so they did not go over there. So this weekend is fine too.
Okay, this is Memorial Weekend. Do the children have plans with other family members?
No,
Okay, what about alternate Sundays, starting May 26th? 12 to 5.
Hmm.
And Samantha Short shall not be present. Mr. Powell, are you willing to comply with that?
I don't really have a choice.
Okay,
If that's the only
So-
time that y'all giving me to see my kids, then I guess I have to accept that.
okay, well,
It's either that or nothing, right?
yes, and what the court's strongly suggesting, if you want to normalize things with children, first of all, it sounds like you've been sporadic in the past, but you need to complete an anger management counseling program. So you can contact the probation department and ask for an agency that to offer such a program.
Okay.
And you can have that maybe done by July 16th. Some documentation, to complete an anger management counseling program. We just don't want you to, there be no, any incident in the presence of the possibility of that in the presence of the children in the future. So the court will modify the recommendation. The father's parenting time is modified his time, noon to 5, alternate Sundays, beginning May 26th. And the parenting time shall not occur in the presence of Samantha. What's her name? Samantha Short.
Yes,
Is that her name? Okay, Samantha Short.
Okay, so she has a relationship with the kids as well, and there are other children that live here. So what we're asking is that I ask her and her children to leave the home so I can have.
Go to a
parents-
park. Go to a park.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, this parenting time for you, not for her. This is for you.
No, I understand that, but okay.
And perhaps, Ms. Patrick, you can note in the recommendation, the court recommends that Mr. Powell complete an anger management counseling program.
I have it modified the recommendation to what's been stated on the record. Your Honor.
Right, so, Ms. Carr, anything further?
no, Your Honor.
Okay, and do the parties meet, or how do they transport for the exchanges?
They meet at Arby's in Dundee. Is that
Okay,
still
Yeah.
the case? Okay, now I don't know who will be driving for Mr. Powell because Ms. Short was his driver.
Mr. Powell, who will be driving to the Arby's in Dundee?
I have no answer for you at the time. I mean, I don't know. I'll have to figure that out.
Okay, is Ms. Short going to be driving? You know, I guess as long as you're supposed to be not in the vehicle with her. But I don't know, Ms. Carr, is that even acceptable? If Miss, I don't know if your client's comfortable with Samantha Short picking up the children? Do the children know her well enough?
yeah, they do know her well enough, but I've only ever seen her one time in person. So I'm not sure if she will do that, but I'm willing if she is.
Okay, so you're comfortable with Samantha Short picking up the children, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess if Ms. Short wants to pick up the children and she's got to deliver them to you, Mr. Powell. Any questions, Mr. Powell?
I don't have
Okay,
nothing.
so and if she can, if someone can't pick up the children, then you need to, as courtesy, let Miss Amber know that no one's going to be there. She shouldn't have to go to Arby's and Dundee with the kids, and the kids are expected to see their dad, and it's not going to happen. So if you don't have a transportation lined up, as courtesy, let Amber know that you're canceling that parenting time session, and you can then continue at the alternate Sundays thereafter. We'll come back on July 16th at 1:30. All right, if there's nothing further, I'll conclude this here and everyone can zoom out. Thank you, Ms. Patrick, for modifying that.
You're welcome, Your
Thank you,
Honor.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
Welcome.